The galaxy had forgotten Earth. For centuries, humans were spoken of only in whispers, if they were spoken of at all. Most alien archives listed humanity as a primitive, chaotic race that destroyed themselves long ago. A minor footnote in galactic history. Nothing more. But deep beneath a forgotten outpost, hidden under layers of rock and dust, alien diggers uncovered something they were never meant to find. It was not ruins. It was not a simple relic. It was a vault. The air was still when the vault cracked open. Strange machines hissed inside, covered in frost, still running after thousands of years. And in the center of the chamber stood rows of tall, black pods. Each one pulsed faintly with a red light, as if a heartbeat was trapped within. The alien team hesitated. Their scanners gave confusing readings, heat signatures, energy spikes, genetic codes unlike anything in their databases. "This cannot be right," said Dr. Varen, the leader of the expedition. His 4 eyes narrowed as the numbers scrolled across his console. The records said Earth was extinct. But this is not extinction. Something stirred inside one of the pods. A hand pressed against the glass. Human. The crew stumbled backward. None of them had ever seen a human in real life. None of them expected one to move. The galaxy had told them humans were wild, unstable, and doomed. Yet here, frozen in silence, was proof that they were not gone. They had been preserved. The pod released a slow hiss. Mist rolled across the floor. The alien soldiers raised their weapons, unsure if they were facing a relic of the past, or a weapon from it. The human inside opened his eyes. They were not the eyes of a victim. Not the eyes of a species that had fallen. They were sharp, cold, and filled with something the galaxy had long forgotten. The alien soldiers felt it instantly. Fear. The man stepped out, shivering, confused for only a moment before his instincts took over. His muscles tightened. His breathing steadied. He scanned the room, saw the weapons aimed at him, and tilted his head as if judging how fast he could break them. "Identify yourself," one of the alien guards demanded, though his voice cracked. The human said nothing. He did not need to. The way he stood, the way his body shifted into a stance older than words, told them everything. He was ready for combat. Dr. Varen swallowed hard. The legends about humanity rushed back into his mind. Stories of warriors who fought wars even against hopeless odds. Soldiers who adapted faster than machines. Hunters who turned entire battlefields into traps. What if humans were never meant to be explorers or philosophers? What if they were designed for something else? The vault shook as more pods powered up. Red lights flickered on, one after another, like an army waking from the dead. The aliens panicked, arguing whether to retreat or contain what they had unleashed. But it was too late. The human who had awakened stepped forward, his voice finally breaking the silence. His words were simple, clear, and heavy with meaning. "Where is the war?" The aliens froze. None of them had an answer. They realized too late that they had unearthed not survivors, not refugees, but something far worse. They had uncovered humanity's true purpose. And the galaxy would never be the same again. The alien soldiers had never seen anything like it. The human stood in front of them, silent but powerful, as if he carried an invisible storm around him. His eyes darted across the room, memorizing exits, weapons, and weak points with frightening speed. Dr. Varen raised a trembling hand. "Wait. Do not engage. Do not." Too late. One nervous guard fired. The blast struck the wall where the human had stood, but he was already gone. In less than a breath, he closed the distance, disarmed the soldier, and held the alien's own weapon against his throat. The other guards froze. None dared move. The human looked down at the weapon as if it were a toy, then tossed it aside. He didn't need it. His body was a weapon. "Peace," Dr. Varen shouted, voice shaking. "We mean you no harm. We found you." The human's gaze shifted to him. There was no trust in his eyes, only calculation. Who are you? The human demanded, his voice low and rough, like someone who hadn't spoken in centuries. Varen tried to keep his voice steady. We are explorers. We came to study the ruins of Earth. We did not know you were here. The man studied the group. His jaw clenched. Earth, he repeated, the word heavy. What happened to Earth? No one spoke. The silence was answer enough. The human's face darkened. His fists tightened. For a moment, the aliens thought he might kill them all where they stood. Instead, he turned toward the other pods. Wake them, he said. Varen's eyes widened. No, you do not understand. The human slammed his hand on the control panel, and the vault shook again. More pods hissed open. Mist spread across the floor as silhouettes appeared within the glass. One pod cracked, and another human stepped out. A woman, her face stern, her stance unshaken. Her eyes fell instantly on the first man, then on the aliens. How long? She asked. Too long, he replied. The woman nodded, as if this was expected. As if she had always known they would wake to war. The aliens backed toward the vault doors. Varen whispered. We cannot control this. We should have destroyed the site when we had the chance. But the guards could not move. Fear locked their legs. Every instinct told them that running would only make them prey. The woman's eyes swept across the alien crew. Enemies? She asked. The first man shook his head slowly. Not yet. Not yet. Those two words carried a weight the aliens could not ignore. It was not a promise of peace. It was a warning that peace was temporary. More pods opened. More humans awoke. Each one was different, tall, short, scarred, young, but all of them carried the same aura of danger. The aliens felt it in their bones. This was not a gathering of survivors. This was the awakening of an army. Varen finally found his voice. Please, listen to me. The galaxy is not at war. Not anymore. The old empires have fallen. The galaxy is fragile, yes, but stable. The woman tilted her head. No war. Varen nodded quickly. No war. The humans exchanged looks. Confusion mixed with disappointment. They did not look relieved. They looked lost. The first man spoke again. If there is no war, then why were we made? The question pierced through the room. None of the aliens could answer. The humans did not smile. They did not celebrate. Instead, they began moving through the vault, searching, examining, arming themselves with whatever equipment remained. They were preparing. Varen's heart sank. They had unearthed something they could not control. Something that was not meant to sleep forever. Something that was meant to fight. And as more humans stirred in their pods, he realized the truth. It did not matter if the galaxy was at peace. War was coming. And humanity was already awake. The humans spread through the vault like predators entering new territory. Their movements were sharp, purposeful, controlled. Not a single one wasted motion. Even half awake from centuries of sleep, they carried themselves like soldiers ready for deployment. The alien crew watched in silence, fear dripping through every breath. Dr. Varen whispered to one of his aides. Record everything. The council must see this. But his aide could barely hold the scanner. His hands shook too badly. The first man, the one who had awakened first, walked down the line of pods, his fingers brushing against the glass. Not all of us survived, he muttered. Several pods were dark, lifeless inside. He paused for a moment, his jaw tight, then moved on without a word. The woman stepped beside him. We have enough. He nodded. Then he turned toward the aliens. Where are we? Varen swallowed hard. You are on the planet once called Earth, but it is no longer habitable. Your world is gone. This place is only an excavation site. The man's eyes narrowed. Gone. Yes, Varen said carefully. Destroyed long before our time. Humanity, your people, were thought to be extinct. The silence that followed was suffocating. The humans did not cry. They did not mourn. Instead, their faces hardened, as if extinction itself was just another enemy to defeat. Finally, the man spoke again. His voice was steady, unshaken. Then the galaxy lied. The words struck Varen like a blade. Another human, tall with deep scars across his arms, stepped forward. If Earth is gone, then where is the enemy? There is no enemy, Varen insisted. The great wars ended centuries ago. The galaxy has no desire for conflict. The scarred man laughed, a low, humorless sound. There is always conflict. Always an enemy. The humans began checking the alien weapons, testing their weight, aiming them as if they had used such tools all their lives. One of them disassembled a rifle in seconds, then rebuilt it blindfolded with perfect precision. The aliens could only stare. Varen tried again. Listen to me. Humanity does not need to fight anymore. You are free. You can live, rebuild, begin again. The woman looked directly at him, her eyes sharp as blades. You don't understand. We were not made to begin again. Varen's chest tightened. What do you mean? She stepped closer. The aliens instinctively backed away. We were made for combat. Every instinct, every reflex, every thought, built for war. Without it, we are nothing. Her words chilled the air. The humans did not cheer. They did not argue. They simply nodded, as if her statement was a truth they had always known. Then, the vault lights flickered. An alarm blared. The excavation team's ship above ground was sending distress signals. One of the alien guards shouted, "Something's attacking." Varen froze. That's impossible. This planet is dead. But the sound of explosions from above told them otherwise. The humans looked at one another. No fear. No hesitation. For the first time since awakening, their eyes burned with purpose. The first man turned toward the noise. His lips curved into something that was not quite a smile, but close. There's the war. Without waiting for permission, the humans began marching toward the exit. Their bare feet echoed against the metal floor, steady and united, like a drumbeat of soldiers returning to battle. Varen reached out desperately. Stop. You don't know what's out there. The man glanced back only once. It doesn't matter. And then they were gone, leaving the alien crew frozen in place, torn between terror and awe. For centuries, the galaxy had lived in peace, believing the age of war was over. But the humans had returned. And they were ready. The ground shook as explosions thundered above the vault. Dust rained from the ceiling. The alien crew huddled together, terrified of what waited on the surface. The humans, however, moved with calm precision. They marched through the tunnels, their steps steady, their breathing even. It was as if their bodies had been waiting for this moment. When they reached the surface, the sight before them was chaos. The excavation camp burned. Alien ships hovered above, their weapons raining fire on anything that moved. Strange creatures poured out of the ships, raiders, mercenaries, scavengers who preyed on unguarded worlds. The alien soldiers panicked. They had no chance against such numbers. But the humans, their eyes lit up. The first man, still bare-chested from the pod, scanned the battlefield. "Positions," he ordered. The others moved instantly, no hesitation, no confusion. They spread out like hunters surrounding prey. Even without weapons, they grabbed metal pipes, broken panels, and pieces of the wreckage. Anything could become a tool in their hands. The raiders spotted them and laughed. "Primitive flesh," one shouted. "Easy kills." They were wrong. The first wave of raiders charged. The humans met them head-on. The woman spun a pipe like a blade, striking 3 enemies before they even raised their rifles. The scarred man snapped an alien's arm, stole his weapon, and fired without missing a single shot. The first man moved like lightning. He struck with fists and elbows, every blow precise, every movement lethal. He was not fighting to survive. He was fighting to dominate. The raiders screamed in panic. They had come expecting frightened prey. Instead, they had found predators. Dr. Varen and his crew crawled out of the vault, stunned by what they saw. The humans were outnumbered 10-1, yet the battle tilted in their favor within minutes. "Impossible," whispered one of the alien aides. "They should be dead. They should be." "Look closer," Varen interrupted, his voice shaking. "They were born for this." The humans fought as if every breath, every heartbeat was part of a greater design. Their bodies adapted instantly to alien weapons. Their instincts read the battlefield faster than machines. For the raiders, this was not a fight. This was slaughter. Within half an hour, the survivors fled to their ships, leaving the dead scattered across the burning camp. The humans stood among the wreckage, their bodies bloodied but unbroken. Not one of them had fallen. The woman wiped her hands clean and turned to the aliens. What were they? Varen stepped forward carefully. Raiders. Scavengers who roam the galaxy, attacking weak colonies. The scarred man sneered. Weak. Varen nodded slowly. Yes. But dangerous to us. The first man looked at the horizon where the raider ships vanished into the stars. His jaw tightened. They'll be back. With more. The aliens exchanged worried looks. They were already shaken by the awakening of the humans. Now they realized something far worse. The galaxy was not as peaceful as they believed. The woman stepped closer to Varen. "Tell us the truth. How many wars are there?" Varen hesitated. His 4 eyes blinked rapidly. "There are conflicts, skirmishes. The great empires are gone, but the galaxy is not free of blood." The humans exchanged glances. The scarred man grinned. Good. Varen's stomach turned cold. These beings did not fear war. They desired it. The first man pointed at the sky. "Take us to them." Varen froze. "To who?" "The ones who fight," the human said. "If war exists, then that is where we belong." The alien crew realized the nightmare truth. The humans were not asking. They were demanding. And if refused, they would not hesitate to take what they needed. The humans had awakened, and the galaxy had given them exactly what they craved: conflict. Varen looked up at the smoke rising into the sky. He knew this was only the beginning. The raiders had escaped. They would spread the word. The humans were back. And every power in the galaxy would soon hear of it. The humans stood on the scorched ground, their chests rising and falling steadily. Around them, the alien camp smoldered, debris scattered like the remnants of a nightmare. Yet they did not rest. Not one of them. The first man scanned the horizon. "They will return," he said quietly, almost to himself. The woman beside him nodded. "And when they do, they will regret it." Varen watched, horrified. "They are unstoppable." "How?" "Instinct," the scarred man replied, his voice calm as a blade. "Everything we do is for war. It is all we were ever made to do." Above them, the sky darkened. Alien reinforcements were approaching. From the distance, ships shaped like jagged shards of metal descended, weapons charging. Varen could barely comprehend the scale of what was coming. Hundreds of raiders. Thousands, perhaps. The first man turned to the others. "Positions," he commanded. "Prepare." In an instant, the humans spread out. Some ran to the wreckage, turning broken machinery into barricades. Others climbed higher ground, using gravity and terrain as natural advantages. It was as if every step, every movement, had been practiced for centuries. The aliens could only stare, frozen. They were witnessing something beyond their understanding. Not soldiers. Not fighters. Predators. The first wave of reinforcements hit, firing indiscriminately. But the humans were ready. They moved faster than the eye could follow, weaving between blasts, disarming enemies with unmatched precision. The woman grabbed a raider by the arm, twisted it, and sent him flying into a wrecked transport. The scarred man used 2 rifles at once, firing with deadly accuracy. Varen whispered to himself, "It's impossible." The first man vaulted onto a hovering alien ship, landing on its hull. He kicked open a hatch and pulled a squad inside, dragging them into the battlefield on the inside. The humans did not simply fight. They adapted. Every tactic the aliens had learned from centuries of warfare was being turned against them, in real time, by beings who had been asleep for centuries. Explosions rocked the ground. Smoke and fire filled the air. But the humans did not falter. Every strike was precise, every counter calculated. Their bodies were weapons, their minds sharper than any strategy computer. The aliens tried to flee, but the humans blocked every exit. Panic spread like wildfire. The raiders' confidence dissolved as they realized they were not facing enemies, they were facing the apocalypse made flesh. Varen felt his chest tighten. If they continue, the galaxy will never be safe for anyone. The first man jumped down from the alien ship, landing silently behind a group of raiders. Without hesitation, he took them down before they even knew he was there. The woman called out, her voice echoing over the battlefield. "Hold nothing back. We end this now." In minutes, the reinforcements were either dead or fleeing. The humans stood among the wreckage, bloodied but untouched. Their movements were fluid, coordinated, terrifying in their efficiency. Varen stumbled forward. Why do you fight like this?" The scarred man looked at him with a faint smile. "Because we were made for it. Because we are the answer to every war the galaxy forgot." Varen's eyes widened. "But the galaxy, we have peace. This is too much." The first man stepped forward, his eyes cold as steel. "Peace is temporary. War is eternal. And we are eternal in it." A distant roar echoed across the sky, the remnants of the alien forces regrouping for another attack. The humans did not flinch. They prepared again, already predicting the enemy's every move. Varen whispered, almost to himself, "They are unstoppable, unstoppable." The first man turned to the alien scientist. "Tell your leaders, humanity has returned. And we do not forgive weakness. We do not forget insult. We do not stop." The humans looked to the horizon, their silhouettes sharp against the burning sky. Every alien who saw them understood the same terrifying truth. The age of humans had returned, and no power in the galaxy would survive their awakening unscathed. Varen sank to his knees. The galaxy is finished," he muttered. And above him, the humans waited, ready to strike again. The horizon burned with fires from the defeated raiders, but the humans did not pause. Their eyes scanned the skies, reading every movement, calculating every possibility. War was not a choice, it was their purpose, and they embraced it without hesitation. Dr. Varen watched in disbelief. They are unstoppable," he whispered. "No weapon, no strategy, no fleet can survive them." A distant signal echoed through the ruins. Alien ships from nearby systems had received word of the humans' awakening. Thousands of ships, each armed with devastating weaponry, were converging on the planet. The first man, standing on a ridge above the battlefield, observed them silently. "They think they can stop us with numbers," he said. "They will learn why humanity is not to be underestimated." The woman crouched beside him. "Do we strike first, or wait?" He tilted his head. "First strike. Every moment we delay, they grow bolder. Let them taste our strength now, and they will think twice before returning." In an instant, the humans spread like shadows across the land. They moved faster than the alien ships could target them. Each human struck with lethal precision, dismantling weapons, disabling engines, and turning the aliens' own technology against them. The aliens fired relentlessly, but the humans adapted instantly. Blasts that would have killed any other species were dodged, deflected, or absorbed into counterattacks. They fought as one, anticipating each move, predicting every strike. Varen could hardly breathe. How is this possible? The scarred man turned to him with a faint smile. Because we were engineered for war. Every instinct, every reflex, every thought, everything we are, is designed for this moment. You cannot stop what you were never meant to understand. Above them, the alien ships faltered. Pilots screamed as their systems were torn apart, their strategies undone before they could react. Entire fleets fell silent, and the battlefield became a graveyard. The first man leapt onto the deck of a hovering warship, disarming the crew and taking control in moments. The woman followed, scaling another vessel and turning it into a fortress. "Spread out," shouted the first man. "Show them no mercy. They will learn the cost of challenging humanity." The humans moved like shadows through the alien fleet. Every step was measured, every strike fatal. The aliens who survived fled in panic, abandoning ships, equipment, and weapons. Varen fell to his knees. This is genocide," he whispered. "They are destroying everyone, everything." The scarred man walked past him. "Not destruction. Reset. The galaxy was weak. Humanity is the cure. We bring strength where there was none." The humans regrouped on the ground, surveying the wreckage. The first man's eyes burned with intensity. "This is only the beginning. The galaxy will remember this day. Every empire, every faction. They will know we have returned." Varen's mind raced. They will not stop. Nothing can stop them. The woman spoke quietly, yet her voice carried weight. "We do not need to stop. We are the storm that wakes the galaxy. They will adapt, flee, hide, but we will always find them." In the skies above, scattered alien ships attempted to regroup. But the humans were already waiting. The first man raised his hand, and like shadows, the humans struck from all sides. Within minutes, every attempt at resistance crumbled. The battlefield was silent now, except for the crackling of fires. The humans stood among the wreckage, unbroken, victorious, and hungry for the next challenge. Varen turned to the first man. You are more than a species. You are chaos." The first man smiled faintly. "We are not chaos. We are humanity. And the galaxy will either remember that, or it will cease to exist." For the first time, Varen understood the truth. Humanity was not a lost race, not a relic of the past. They were predators, engineered for combat, perfected for war. And now, awakened, there was nothing in the galaxy that could oppose them. The humans gazed at the horizon, ready to march again. Every surviving alien fleet would soon learn the same lesson. Humanity had returned, and nothing would survive their wrath. The galaxy trembled. Systems that had once believed themselves safe now lay in ruins. Fleets scattered like leaves in a storm. Planets that had not seen war in centuries now burned under the shadow of a single species, humanity. The first man stood atop a cratered ridge, surveying the battlefield. Fires burned across distant moons, alien signals screamed in panic, and the horizon was alive with smoke and debris. Yet he did not flinch. Not once. Not ever. "We take no prisoners," he said quietly. "We show no mercy. We finish this." The woman beside him nodded. "Every empire, every fleet, every world. They will remember us." Varen watched in awe and terror. They are beyond comprehension," he whispered. "Nothing could stop them." The humans did not need weapons. They became weapons. One by one, they dismantled every threat. They moved with precision, instinct, and speed that made machines obsolete. Every attack they faced was anticipated, every counter fatal. The scarred man grabbed a fallen alien rifle, turned it upside down, and fired blindly into a swarm of enemy fighters. Every shot hit a target. Every strike was exact. "They forget one thing," he said to no one in particular. "We were born for this." Alien leaders tried to coordinate defenses. Holograms and commands flashed across screens. Yet, every strategy collapsed before human action. Ships exploded mid-flight. Cities crumbled before reinforcements could arrive. It was a war no one was ready to fight. Varen staggered forward. How can one species do all this? The first man's eyes locked onto him. We are not one species, he said. We are the answer the galaxy forgot. Every instinct, every skill, every strategy, embedded in our DNA. Humanity is not weak. Humanity is perfect for war. The humans moved as a single unit now, their coordination terrifying in its efficiency. One could destroy a ship, another disable a fleet, a third take down an entire command center without a single ally falling. Above them, the last of the alien fleets began to retreat. They had learned the truth too late. Humanity was not just combatants, they were predators, apex warriors of the galaxy. The woman raised her hand. Stop pursuing them, she said. Let them run. Let them remember the cost of challenging humanity. The humans paused for a moment, watching the fleeing fleets disappear into the void. Their eyes glimmered with satisfaction, not cruelty, but with the clarity of purpose only warriors like them could understand. Varen fell to his knees. The galaxy, it will never recover, he murmured. The first man looked out over the horizon, where smoke still twisted into the sky. It will recover, he said. But only because humanity will guide it. We will bring order through strength, peace through power, and any who forget will be reminded. The scarred man stepped beside him. Let them remember that humans are not to be underestimated. We do not forgive weakness. We do not forget insult. We do not stop. The humans turned toward the stars. Every ship, every planet, every faction would soon hear the same warning. Humanity had returned. And when humanity returned, the galaxy would change forever. Varen looked at them one last time. They were not the humans he had studied in history books. They were not the helpless, primitive beings the galaxy had believed extinct. They were perfection incarnate, a species designed to dominate, to conquer, to endure. He whispered to himself, barely audible over the distant explosions. They are the ultimate soldiers. The first man stepped forward, lifting his gaze to the distant stars. This is only the beginning, he said. The galaxy will know us. Every empire, every race, every war, they will all remember. Humanity has returned. And we are ready for anything. The woman smiled faintly, her eyes glinting with determination. Let them come. We are waiting. And as the last alien ships disappeared into the void, humanity stood tall, unbroken, unstoppable, and fully awake. The galaxy had thought humans were extinct. It had thought they were weak. It had thought peace was safe. It was wrong. Humanity had returned. And the war, the real war, had only just begun.